Hi, welcome to my video on the review 1 of rational expressions. And this review is on the videos from 1 to 17. And as in all my units, this review can be treated as a quiz, and the total of this quiz is 67. So this is page 1 of 6. There are 5 more pages to come. What you can do is do one question at a time, give yourself a score, and then total, as I show you over on this page, you can do your question. If you get it right, put the score down, and then when you get the final one done on each page, total up your score and put it at over 10, and do that for each page as you do them. And when you're finished, add them up, goes over 67. Divide your denominator into your numerator with a calculator, or use your pen or pencil, and convert it to a decimal, move it 2 places to the right, and get your percent. So let's start the review of rational expressions on videos 1 to 17. And this review is done in the order from 1 to 17. So let's practice. Remember, pause the video, work out the answers. Factor. So 4 is a GCF, so take 4 out. 4x divided by 4 is x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Give yourself a score if you're right. X is a GCF. X squared divided by x is x. Negative 6x divided by x is negative 6. Give yourself a mark. And we have a negative common. So our negative is in the leading term, so we take it out. And we take out the 7. So we take a negative 7 out. And a negative 7x divided by negative 7 is x. Negative 14 divided by negative 7 is a plus 2. Notice when you take a negative out, these two signs will change. Give yourself a score. And x squared minus 9 is x and x. Notice it's x squared minus 3 squared. The difference is 2 squares, so it's 3 and 3 with a plus and a minus. Notice the product is negative 9. And notice there's no x. So when you add these two, negative 3 and 3, when you add these two up, you get 0. There's a 1 there, so we go double brackets. X squared is x and x. The factors of 10 to give you 7 are 5 and 2. Since we have the product is positive 10, the sum is plus 7, we got a positive 5, positive 2. And give yourself another score. Notice that this one, 2 is not a GCF, as would be like the 4 or like the negative 7. So we have to do the product of 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. The sum is of 7. So the factors of 8 are 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Which pair of factors will give you 7? 2 and 4 will never give you 7, so we got a 1 times 8. But the product is negative 8, and the sum is 7, so it's a negative 1 plus 8. And so we take those two factors. I'm going to split these two, give a space in between, and go negative 1x plus 8x. So those two add together to give me the 7x. And I see that x is the GCF. So we take x out of these first two, you get 2x minus 1. And we take a plus, whatever that sign is right there. That's what this one is. And we take a 4 out. So 8x divided by 4 is 2x. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. So you can see that 2x minus 1 is common in this term. So we have an x left. And 2x minus 1 is here. So we have a plus 4 left. So that's the factorization. Remember, the first rule in factoring is always GCF. So I see a 3 at the leading term. 3 is a factor of 18 and 15. I see an x, so I'll take the 3x out. So 3x cubed divided by 3x is x squared. Negative 18, x squared divided by 3x is negative 6x. And 3x divided into 15x is plus 5. That looks like a quadratic. Factors of 5 to give you 6. Yes, 5 and 1, so it's possible. So here we go. X squared is x and x. Factors of 5 are 5 and 1. Multiply to give you a positive and add to give you a negative. Must be 2 negatives. Perfect. Give yourself another score. Number 2, which one is not a rational expression? Rational expressions cannot have the square root of a variable. So which one is not a radical is B. This one is a rational expression because it has no square root, and this one has no square root. So they're rational expressions. This one is not. Simplify. When we simplify a fraction, we see if we can factor the top and the bottom. So I see a 2 and an x. Take it out. 2x squared divided by 2x is x. Negative 2x divided by 2x is negative 1. The denominator, I see 3 is a GCF. So 3x divided by 3 is x. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. And the x minus 1s are factors, they cancel. So it becomes 2x over 3. Give yourself a mark if you're right. Number 4, we're multiplying rational expressions. Everything is factored, you notice. So we cancel anywhere from top to bottom when we're multiplying. So I see an 8 and a 4. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice. X minus 1 is here and here, so we cancel. And plus 2 is there and there, so we cancel. And so we get x minus 2x plus 3. So I got 2 times 1 times 1 times, so that's 2 times x minus 2. 2, x minus 2. And on the bottom, I have an x plus 3. So we have that mark. If you have this, give yourself a mark. You could also call it 2x minus 4 over x plus 3. That's a total of 10. Let's continue. Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you know how to factor and everything works out. Simplify. So first thing I do here, I'm multiplying. So I have to make sure everything is factored. So let's factor. X squared minus 25 is x, and x. 5 and 5 plus minus, because it's the difference of two squares. In this binomial, I see an x common, but the square is the smallest power. So x cubed divided by x squared is x. Negative 5x squared divided by x squared is negative 5 times. And I see a 6 and a 9 got a 3, and I see an x. So I see a 3x is a GCF. 6x squared divided by 3x is 2x. 9x divided by 3x is plus 3. And we have this 2 is not a GCF, so we have to go. The product is 2 times 15 is 30. The sum is 13. So the factors of 30 are 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and there's a 5 times 6. But which pair of factors give me the 13? The 13 looks like the 2 and, oh, that's a 13. It is a 13, but remember, they got to be add up because the product is positive and the sum is positive, so it has to be a 3 and a 10. So we split it, 2x squared and a 15. So we go plus 3x plus 10x. And so the x is the GCF, so we get 2x minus 3. And we got a plus 5, which gives me 2x plus 3. So the factorization of that is 2x plus 3 and an x plus 5. We have it all factored, so we see if we can cancel anywhere from top to bottom. X plus 5, yes. X minus 5, yes, top and bottom. 2x plus 3, yes, top and bottom. And I have a 3x over x squared, so x will divide into 3x x times. Sorry, 3 times. That's a 3. And x divides into x squared x, so the final answer. That's a 3, 1, 1, 3, 1. So that's a 3 over x. There's 5 marks. So if you did all the factoring right, you get 2. If you canceled right, and you get 2, and if you get the final answer, you get 1. So 5 marks in total. The reciprocal is turn it upside down, so it's x minus 7 over x plus 1. Give yourself a mark. Now in division, we have to multiply by the reciprocal first. So we always dividing, we multiply by the reciprocal. We need to turn. So I have the reciprocal done. Now we're back to the multiplication like up here. Only everything's factored, so I'll cancel anywhere from top to bottom. X goes into x once, x goes into x squared x. X minus 2 is here, and here cancel them. 15 and 10. 5 into 15 goes 3, 5 into 10 goes 2, x plus 3's cancel. And I get a 1, 1, 3, 1, so that's a 3 when you multiply. And the bottom is a 2 times x, 2x. So if you did your division, you get a mark. If you cancel everywhere, you get 2 marks. If you got the answer, you get another mark, so 4 marks in total. And number 8, we're dividing, so we always, in division, we multiply by the reciprocal first. If you do the reciprocal in division, you have to multiply by the reciprocal up to 1 on the right, which is this one. So I turn it upside down. Now I have to factor everything. So here we go. Factor x squared is x and x. Factors of 45 to give you a 4. I see a 5 times 9. And the product is negative. So I got a positive 9 and a negative 5. Multiply negative 45, add 4. And 4 is a GCF and x. So 4x squared divided by 4x is x. Negative 20x divided by 4x is negative 5 times. And x squared is x and x. Factors 9 to give you 10 are 9 and 1. The product is positive, 9. Sum is negative 10, so it's a negative 9, negative 1. The product is positive, you have 2 of the middle signs. And x squared minus 81 is x and x, 9 and 9, plus minus the difference of 2 squares. Now cancel anywhere from top to bottom. So x plus 9 cancels, x minus 5 cancels, x minus 9 cancels, and x minus 1, and I got a 4x, so that's x minus 1 over 4x. 6 marks. 1 for the reciprocal, and you get, if you factored everything perfectly, you get 2 marks. If you cancel again, you get 2 marks. Got the final answer, you get another mark. So that's 6 marks in total. If you get the right answer, you get 6 marks. Number 9, we have to add these, and when you add, you need a common denominator. It's already a common denominator, so we go 2x plus 3. We add up the numerators. 1 plus 6 is 7x. 7 minus 11 is a negative 4. And that's the final answer. You can't cancel, can't factor, so that give yourself 1. Total up your score to see if you get 17. And go to the next page. Number 10, we're going to add, so we have a common denominator, which is 3x minus 6. Add, I'm going to add in descending order, x squared goes first. Negative 1 plus 5 is a plus 4, and minus 12. Now we have them added with a common denominator, but the denominator can be factored. 3 outside of x minus 2. The numerator might be factored, and that's an x squared, which is x and x. Factors of 12 to give you 4 are 6 and 2. The 6 is positive, the 2 is negative, but when you multiply 6 and a negative 2, you get negative 12. When you add, you get plus 4. And the x minus 2's cancel out, so the final answer is x plus 6 over 3. And you cannot cancel 3 into 6 because you're adding. So you get 1 for adding this up. You get a mark each if you factor them okay, and you get a mark if you cancel, so 4 marks in total. The LCD, well, you got to have 7x squared, which is right there, and you got to have an x minus 1. So all these denominators, the two of these got to be in here. Perfect. And in order to get the LCD, I have to make sure the denominators are factored. So it has x plus 2, x minus 2, 5 outside of x minus 2, 5 outside of x plus 2, 5 is the GCF, divide 5 into both of these, x minus 2, divide 5 into both of these, x plus 2. And the LCD, you got to have an x plus 2, x minus 2, and what's here that's not there? 5. So this 5 is right there, the x plus 2 is there, so there's the LCD. Give yourself a mark if you factored everything correctly, and give yourself a mark if you got the LCD. And we have to make sure our denominators are factored to get the LCD. So x squared is x and x. Factors of 15 to give you an 8 is 5 and 3 plus plus. And we got an x squared, which is x and x. Factors of 21 is 21 and 1, 7 and 3. 7 and 3 will give you 4. And the product is negative 21, so you have to have a negative 7 and a plus 3. Because when you add, you get a negative 4. And the LCD, you have to put down the first one. The first denominator is in your LCD. And what's in the second one that's not here? And the answer is x minus 7. So again, 1 mark for factoring, 1 mark for the LCD. Simplify. We have a fraction, so can we factor the top? Yes, take x out. Can we factor the denominator? Yes, we're going to take the negative and a 4 out. Negative 4x divided by negative 4 is x. 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. So we cancel common factors, and the negative's on the bottom, so I make it a negative x over 4. 3 marks. 1 for factoring, 1 for canceling, and 1 for putting the negative on the top. 3 marks in total. State the equivalent fractions of this with a denominator of 2x plus 6. A denominator of 2x plus 6. 2x plus 6 factors into 2 outside of x plus 3 because 2 is a GCF. So if I write down x minus 4 over x plus 3, and I want to have this denominator right here, which is factored. So I already have an x plus 3, so I need to multiply it by 2. Because 2 times x plus 3 will give me this. And you put 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, so that's 2 times x. 2 times 4 is negative 8. And you can either have 2 times x plus 3, or you could have 2x plus 6 right here. But if you have that done right, give yourself a mark. A total of 13 altogether. Hopefully everything is going okay. Number 14, equivalent fractions. Again, state the equivalent fractions of this one with a denominator of x squared minus 16. X squared minus 16 is factorable into x plus 4, x minus 4. That means that 2x plus 3 over x minus 4 has to have this denominator. So since it's factored, that means this denominator has to be multiplied by x plus 4. Because x minus 4 times x plus 4 gives you this, which is this binomial. So we got to multiply the top by x plus 4. So you can leave your denominator as x minus 4 times x plus 4, or you can leave it as x squared minus 16. But we got to multiply this out. This 2x squared plus 8x plus 3x plus 12. So it's x squared plus 11x plus 12 all over x minus 4x plus 4. And if you multiply it by x plus 4 over x plus 4, give yourself a mark. And if you got this final answer, give yourself a mark, 2 altogether. Now we're simplifying. We're adding fractions. We need an LCD. So the LCD is x times x plus 2. We have to write down this one. What's over here in this denominator that's not here? And it's an x minus 6. That means that this first denominator has to be multiplied by x minus 6 over x minus 6. And the second one has to be multiplied by x plus 2 over x plus 2. So when you multiply, you get this LCD, x times x plus 2, x minus 6. What I have here is what I'm going to put below both of these. So 3 times x minus 6 is 3x minus 18. And x times x plus 2, x minus 6. Then I have 7 times x plus 2 is 7x plus 14. So I have the same denominators, which is x times x plus 2, x minus 6. And I have to add, keep the denominator, add the numerator, so it's a 10x minus 4 all over this LCD. And it's 1 mark for the LCD, and you get, there's 4 marks altogether, so you get a mark for picking up this fraction, or you could get a mark for multiplying each of these by x plus 2 over x plus 2. You get a mark if you have these 2 fractions right, and if you added them, you get another mark. So 1 for the LCD, 1 for this step, 1 for this step, and 1 for this step, 4 all together. B, in order to get the least common denominator, I have to factor. So x is the GCF, x minus, and I take a 2x out, and I get an x plus 5. And this is already factored. 2x squared can't factor. So the LCD, let's see, write down the LCD. I have to have an x plus 5, and I have to have a 2. But there's a square here. There's an x here and here, but there's an x squared here, so I have to have the x squared because each denominator has to be in here. So 2x squared, right there. 2x, x plus 5, there's the 2x, x plus 5, there's an x plus 5, x and x. So all of them are there. Now I go back and say, what do I need to get to multiply each denominator to get this LCD? So I need a 2x top and bottom. Right here, I have a 2 and an x, so I need to multiply it by x over x. And right here, I need to multiply by x plus 5 over x plus 5. So all these denominators should be 2x squared x plus 5. So when I multiply, I get LCD and I get 8x as the numerator. So that's 2x squared x plus 5 when I multiply. So I multiply x by these two, so it's x squared minus x. And when I multiply this, I should get the same LCD. Perfect. Now I do FOIL. Let's do FOIL fast. X times x is x squared. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Outside is a 5. Inside is a 2. 5 and 2 gives me plus 3 with an x. Common denominator is 2x over x plus 2x squared over x plus 5. Now I have to add these together. So let's add without writing down too many steps. X squared, add on x squared is 2x squared. Now I'm adding in descending order. 8, subtract 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10x. And I have negative 10. So notice I added the x squared first, then the x's, and then the number. And I see a 2 is a GCF, so 2 outside of x squared plus 5x minus 5. 2 is a common factor, so you take 2 out. And I have 2x squared all over x plus 5. And notice factors of 5 will never give you 5, but the 2's cancel. 2 once, x squared. So the answer is x squared plus 5x minus 5 all over x squared times x plus 5. That's the final answer. And it's 7 marks. And you can do your factoring for your denominator correctly, which is this. You get 1 mark. Get the LCD, you get another mark. If you do equivalent fractions, then you get, notice you're multiplying these correctly, you get another mark. And then if you multiply these correctly, you get this step. So almost every step here is 7 marks distributed. So factor, LCD, doing this step, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 marks altogether. Total up your page, 13. And when you get that done, you finish your review, go back to your first sheet, and there's the first sheet. Oh, I got another page here I forgot to do. Sorry about that. I was going on to get, didn't realize. Okay, let's do 15. I have to factor my denominators, so it's x all over negative 2x outside of x minus 6. And notice 6 minus x is the same as negative x plus 6. So what happens, this negative has to come out because my leading term in an expression should not be negative. So take the negative out, I get an x minus 6 over negative 3. That's an x over the negative we put on the top. We never leave a negative in the bottom. Negative over negative is positive. So notice I did descending order and I factored it out. And when I got down here, I took the negative at the bottom. So positive divided by negative is negative x. Negative divided by negative positive. The LCD is 2. Notice the LCD down here is 2 times x minus 6. So this is already the LCD, so I'll multiply this one by 2 over 2. So that gives me negative x over 2 times x minus 6. Add on 6 over 2 times x minus 6. And common denominator, we have it. 2 times x minus 6. We add, we get a negative x plus 6. Notice we take the negative out. The leading term shouldn't be negative. Let's take the negative out, we get a positive and a negative. And what happens? This is a common factor, so that cancels. 1, 1. So that's a negative 1 over 2. Final answer. 7 marks. So if you did all this coming down through here, like every step is a mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 steps, 7 marks. If you get the final answer, give yourself 7. If you make an error going through, you just give your mark for each step. And the last one is D. We have to do this one. And you get to add fractions, we need a common denominator. So we have to factor each denominator. X and x, factors of 3 are 3 and 1. And to give positive 3, so it's a negative 3, negative 1. When you multiply, you get 3. When you add, you get negative 4. And you factor, you get x and x, 2 and 2. We get a negative and a negative, 2 and 2. That's 2. Factors of 2 are 2 and 1, sorry. So it's a negative and a negative. And we factor again. X squared is x and x. Factors of 6 to give me a 5. Well, you check these, you can see that you got 3 and 2 here. You don't have any 6, you got a 1. So 6 is 1 times 6 and 3 times 2. The sum is positive, so it's got to be 2 of the same sign. So it has to be a negative and a negative. So if they're negatives, sum is, if the product is positive, has to be the same sign. So they got to add up. So 3 and 2 got it to work. Multiply, positive 6, add, negative 5. And the LCD is, write down the first one, x minus 3, x minus 1. And what's in this one that's not over here? So it's an x minus 2. X minus 3, x minus 2 is there. So that means that this one is multiplied by, what do we need? An x minus 2. And this one is multiplied by, what do we need? We need an x minus 3, top and bottom. And this one, we need and x minus 1, top and bottom, to balance it out. So every one of these will have this denominator, x minus 3, x minus 1, x minus 2. Every one of them, if you do it right, x minus 3, x minus 1, x minus 2. So you see x minus 2, x minus 3, x minus 1, perfect. X minus 2, x minus 1, x minus 3, perfect. And this one is x minus 3, x minus 2, x minus 1, let's put them in the same order, make sure. They're all the same. Even though the multiplications are a different order, but they still come out to be this. So multiply 4x minus 8. Multiply 4 times x, 4x. 4 times negative 3, negative 12. Negative x times x is negative x squared. Negative x times negative 3 is plus 3x. And we multiply x by x minus 1 is x squared minus x. So, common denominator, x minus 3, x minus 1, x minus 2. And we're going to add. So the x squareds add up first. X squared, negative and positive cancel out. We have a 3x, that's 8, 11 minus 1 is a 10. And what else do we have here? Okay. And we have a 10x, so, and that's a minus 20. So take a 10 out, we get an x minus 2. So notice again, just to make sure, we have a 4, 8, 11, take away 1 is 10, and negative 8, negative 12, negative 20. 10 is GCF, take it out, and we got an x minus 2 on top and bottom, so the final answer is 10 all over x minus 3, x minus 2. A good addition problem. If you can handle that, you're going to handle most that you're going to have. And you get 1 for the factoring, you get 1 for the LCD, you get 1 for this step, almost 1 for every step. So you can see factor, LCD, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. And 14 marks altogether. Now this time I'm at the end, page 6 of 6. So we can add all the numbers up, and I can put it over 67, divide with your pen or calculator, change it to a decimal, move your decimal 2 places to the right to get your percent. Hopefully you did well. Extremely important to know how to do rational expressions, adding and subtracting and simplifying. Especially, we did adding so far. Next videos will have subtraction, etc., etc. If you like my video, click the like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell. More videos are coming. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, videos, and the content. And that's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.